following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtuals Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about The Boys and whatnot. You know, season premiere is next week. They're dropping 3 brand new episodes. Before we get into that, though, obviously, the last of our active, sports we're talking about, we don't really do much of baseball. Probably won't be doing much of baseball in general. So, really be prepared for like TV shows and movies and whatnot for the next few months. But more importantly, NBA Finals is coming up tonight, 8:30. Before I talk about the actual series or whatnot, I'm gonna ask you guys a question first. Like, how did y'all feel about the Luka and Kyrie being the best backcourt of all time?
That was a thing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, Stan Van Gundy said it.
They're
playing now. Like, we're watching them now. So, I mean, you know, recency bias, he goes crazy. Anthony Edwards was just Jordan 2 weeks ago. So,
yeah.
I mean, I really ain't got nothing to say about it. I mean, that's your opinion. Like, so
don't be weird.
It's recent. Every playoff run, every playoff series, we get recent biasy. People just say things, you know, because they're on the screen. I really don't have no opinion on it. I mean, in terms of skill and talent that I've seen, probably are one of the best of all time. But, you know, obviously they haven't accomplished as much as Curry and Clay, or that's really it. Like, off the top of my head, I mean, I say John Wall and Bradley Beal, but, like, you know what I'm saying? They come on now. But
they know SGA and Dort, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
why ain't Dort your small forward, your shooting guard? That Josh guy?
Josh Giddey is a small forward.
Oh.
That Josh guy.
So why don't he guard small forwards?
He asked.
Who?
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey has not guarded no small forwards. If he would have guarded Brandon Ingram, we would have went to the finals. Right, think about it.
Lou Dort guarded the best player on the other team.
You know, like
let's get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, put him on LeBron. Like, let's see what happens.
But I get exactly what you said, though. Like, I mean, there isn't much to surpass in terms of talent, because, like, talent-wise, the best talent-wise duo would be like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, but like pedigree, you know, championship, like I guess resume-wise, you go with Curry and Clay. So I guess I could see from the point where they talk about most skilled, because even like Tony Parker and Ginobili, like skill-wise, not even close to top 5 even, but they got plenty of championships together. They got plenty of experience. So obviously you would probably lean one of them without all the recency bias, and that was never a thing until literally like they got to the conference finals or whatever. It's like it was the same backcourt that was there last year. They just didn't make the playoffs. So what changed? Obviously them winning. So like the recency bias is a real thing, and it sucks that happens every playoffs. Like you said, Anthony Edwards was Jordan 2 weeks ago. Shit like that. I mean, as crazy as it sounds now, I thought it was crazy then, because like it wasn't like he was putting up like insane numbers or like you know what I'm saying, like going all out. Like he got down in that series. He had bad games, like talking like terrible games. He's trying to play both sides of the ball, and that's sustainable if you're going against, you know, Jamal Murray, who's no offense, Jamal Murray, he's not as talented as Kyrie. You go against Kyrie, and it's like, all right, I can't do this shit. We know. Nobody should have to do that, but good for the Mavs, obviously, for making it after missing playoffs last year. But I'll start with you, Damien. For the finals, anything that's really sticking out to you that you feel you would lean in one way over the other?
I wouldn't say too much. I mean, I guess Porzingis playing is the most important thing for the entire series. I know he said he's available for game 1, but he said he's not going to say he's 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it worth playing? I mean, I guess it is the finals. You have the whole off season. But I don't know. I like the Mavs' physicality too, though. I feel like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, the Celtics have gotten to this point and they failed before, because you could say that about a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be that guy to say that, but I feel like the only thing is, like, the Celtics, I feel, just got so many primary defenders as
Yeah.
compared to a team like the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mavs do have Derrick Jones Jr. guarded well. Gafford's a physical big, but like Drew Holiday on the perimeter. Jason Tatum's no pushover. Jaylen Brown is no pushover. Derek White is a good defender. Like I mean, you're like outside of Luka and Kyrie, who is really like a dominant perimeter player for the Mavs. Like PJ Washington had a great series against OKC from outside the 3-point line, and then was like 2 for 21 against the
Yeah,
damn.
he played horrible
Yeah,
against.
so it's like
Wolves.
unless he gets that back, you know what I'm saying? It's like who is another like super dominant perimeter player for the Mavs? And I feel like that's where the Celtics match up really well with them at.
For you, Damon, same thing. Something that's making you lean one way over the other.
It's like I watched the Celtics and they were in a lot of close games with
Watch them,
teams.
bro.
Like
Them
they,
series, man,
they
those
were in
are
a lot of
some hard
close
series to get
games.
through to
Like
watch.
why is Marcus Morris and Evan Mobley pushing y'all to the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on, man? But I think if you look at it, like the Celtics got a lot of defenders, like Dame said, but only 2 matter. It's the one guard in Luka and the one guard in Kyrie. Everything else is schematic. Like you might leave PJ Washington open and Jason Tatum's watching him, or Jaylen Brown is guarding fucking Josh Green and you're leaving him open. So those guys are gonna create as long as the scheme is for them to get open. If it's Luka and Kyrie pick and roll all game, you got Derek White and Drew Holiday. It's really gonna come down to Porzingis' defense. Obviously he can't guard them, but he's gonna have to move a lot. This is gonna probably have to be a small ball series for the Celtics, and I don't really believe in a small ball.
Yeah.
I do think they're gonna win, but it's gonna be more of a, Luka and Kyrie having a bad game or two, and that cost them. I do think Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively is gonna give Porzingis problems, especially coming back from injury. But I do think at the end, I just feel like the Celtics continuity is better. I think that they're gonna hit more shots. I think the Mavericks are gonna go cold in this series a few times, and relying on Josh Green and PJ Washington hit 45-50% of their threes.
Yeah.
It's not going. It's not going. You know what I mean? So
That's
I got the
hard, man.
Celtics winning, but I can easily see where the Mavericks steal two games easily. Come down to the clutch, and you gotta think if Drew Holiday didn't have that insane minute and a half against the Pacers, or Jaylen Brown had that 40-50 point game, like that series would have went 6-7 games. The Cavs would have pulled off. What, the Cavs won a game?
Cavs did win a game.
They would have probably won another game. Like there's a lot of times where the Celtics could have lost, but their their team got them over the edge. Probably won't happen this series, but I do think the Celtics will win.
Yeah, the way I look at it is the Celtics being as good as they were all year, going through a lot less games than the Mavs did. I think they only went through 13 games compared to the Mavs, who they've been through I think at least 6 besides the Wolves series, which really could have went 6. I mean, the Wolves weren't playing great in the clutch either. So both teams have some really questionable wins. And even questionable loss, or loss for the Celtics, but even, questionable moments is damn, we're is this really what we got to deal with? But I guess it shows a balance in the league. When I look at playoff series, I try to look at star matchups. Who stars better than who's? Obviously the Mavs got better stars, but if I had to lean Celtics, it'd probably be everything else. I'm talking about coaching, talking about defense, ability to score on multiple levels. The Mavericks really rely a lot on their 3-ball. They didn't against OKC as much as I thought they would. I thought they would just shoot 50. I thought they would shoot 50.
It was out physical.
They did. They out physical y'all, and I was like, okay. Then that's Jason Kidd finally realizing that all right, matchup is everything instead of just leaning on Luka. And the fact that Luka and Kyrie are both playing really really good defense for how much they are putting up on the offensive end is going to be interesting to see, because now they're going against probably the best forward duo.
Yeah, they're going to be guarding Drew Holiday and Drew
Holiday.
Holiday.
They got a guard.
They got a
for
guard.
real. So it's going to be way different than guarding Anthony Edwards and then Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? Or SGA and then random second player that might go off that day or shooting more shots than the other. It just happens to be their best series because it is the finals. That's how it should be. The Celtics were great all year, though. I mean, I think they had the best offensive rating ever in league history, which is pretty crazy to think about. And people don't even think about their offense. They always talk about the defense, like the Drew Holidays and Derek Whites and shit. But it should be interesting. I'm almost 50-50 with this. I want to say whoever wins game 1's probably going to win it all. But it's hard to say because, like you said, Porzingis is coming back, and then Kyrie Irving first game back in Boston, in a playoff setting. It's like it's a lot going on.
Right,
There's
yeah,
a lot of things
there's a
going
lot
on.
going on.
Kyrie Irving's never played good against Boston in his playoff career. So it's weird. It's one of those things. It's hard to lean like one way or another, but I'm hoping it is a good series, at least to end the NBA season. But anything can happen.
And I was gonna say another thing. The Mavericks has been tested, though. I will say that they've been tested way more than the Cavs. I mean, not the Cavs. Damn, the Celtics.
Yep.
The Timberwolves, who I thought was gonna win. You know, they got defenders. They got 3 bigs. That's solid. So they really went against every team. They went against the superstar guard and Shea. First round, who did they play? They played the Clippers. They went against, the vets.
They were down twice in that series. They went down 1-0. They went down 2-1. So it's like
yeah. So they've been tested. Celtics really hasn't been tested yet. So this is our first test for the Celtics that's in the finals. So I guess we'll see.
I think the Celtics the Celtics got tested just in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like
they could have gave up on some of those games.
Yeah, they could have gave up on some of those games. Like even that last game against the Pacers, I'm just like how can't you pull off a fucking win here? Like it just doesn't make sense. But more or less, that's more towards the greatness of the Celtics, how good they are compared to how bad the team. Like these teams have made it as far for a reason. Like the Cavs, I mean, obviously, in the Pacers, you lost your stars in the middle of the series, but towards like when you look at the Heat, it was like they already knew they were going in without Jimmy, so like you don't expect nothing. But you expect like, all right, maybe the Cavs could pull out 6 games, maybe the Pacers could pull out 6 games. Like nah, like it just didn't end up happening that way. Hopefully no injuries. Obviously, both teams have benefited from injuries, realistically. But it is what it is. That's how the game goes, unfortunately. Like I said, it's hard to really pick a winner. But I want to talk about Kyrie's legacy. Now, obviously, a win here does wonders for him, obviously, because always being like known his early career as LeBron's second, and obviously that affected him, and he left, and he bounced around to the Celtics and to the Nets. Obviously now he got a home with the Mavericks, and I don't see him leaving really anytime soon unless something drastic happens. But for Kyrie's legacy, he's seen Gil's podcast, and there's like Brandon Jennings and Rashad McCants talking about like AI. I'm not gonna be that simple. I don't think AI and Kyrie don't. It's different eras, so we can't really compare them. But as of today, like people were like for the last 4 maybe 5 years, like Damian Lillard over Kyrie. Like I feel like that narrative is gonna die. No, that narrative is gone. He's probably not catching Steph, but like now that we got Kyrie in the finals, potentially have a chance to win one. Where do y'all think his legacy stems? Like, because he already has the impact of one of the best ball handlers. But now we got to talk about his resume. Like, his resume is now going to be up there. So how do y'all feel about Kyrie's legacy if he wins this series?
You start.
All right, I'll say this because I was just in a Discord call a few days ago. I was told Kyrie is a top 4 point guard of all time. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't either.
I don't agree with that. I think Russell Westbrook all time is better than him. I think that Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, and then you could possibly argue Chris Paul and maybe John Stockton. But you look at if Kyrie wins this championship again, I think the only thing I will hold him back from is that like 2020 to 2022 run, like that 2-3 years.
Yeah,
span.
those 3-4 years
he
he
sat
just
out.
was out and just like
He
out
sat out.
Mm-hmm.
He got swept or lost in the first round to the Boston Celtics. So it was a really bad 2-3 years for him. And then you got obviously all the off-court stuff. This is why he kind of got kicked off the NBA top 75. But I think a ring here, I think you got to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he's Hall of Fame.
I don't know about top 5 all time though, but
I still wouldn't have him top 5 because I'm thinking about guys like Isaiah Thomas. Like he actually led his team to the finals twice. Even like somebody like Gary Payton, I'm like, you could say Gary Payton's legacy is better than Kyrie's, but his resume is better than Kyrie's. Like having that defensive player of the year, leading his team to the finals, like being the best player on his team for like a decade almost.
Yeah,
like it's really not comparable because Kyrie literally has never led his team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't want to like fault that because like I don't want to put that all on him because he has played with Luka and LeBron, but I care about all NBAs. And I don't want to say all stars. I'll say all NBAs. All NBAs I put the most stock into. I think Kyrie only has like what 3?
I think 3 of them are higher than second.
I think all three of them was on. No, I think 2 of them was on the Cavs and like 1 of them was on the Nets, something like that. So he only has 3 All NBAs. So that means you were a top 15 player in the league 3 times out of your 10, 11 careers.
Probably what 12? We're going on year 13 next year.
Yeah, year 13. So it's like I do think he's a Hall of Fame caliber player, but to put him better, and then you brought up Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard went on a run. Like
well, as of right now, he's better than Kyrie. His resume.
Yeah, I think he got
what
more,
he's done is better than Kyrie.
I ain't gonna lie, Dame went on a run. So I don't know, man. I think a ring do put him over Dame, but right now it's kind of shaky, man. And another thing I seen, well, I'll let Dame get into Kyrie, but I was gonna talk about Prime James Harden and Luka.
Oh yeah. We could talk about that too.
I don't know, man. I mean, Kyrie dropping Brandon Knight in the Rising Stars game. Like,
yeah, it's like
all
that was
time
his
for me.
That was his legacy for like 6 years.
Like, all time over for me.
Realistically, that was his legacy for like 6 years. So.
No, I think the ring helps his legacy out a lot, but I think more so than I think his legacy he set for himself when he left Cleveland in the first place. Mm-hmm. I think trying to go to Boston, and I think I talked about this, and I feel like I've talked about this, maybe not here but somewhere else. I think him going to Boston and trying to be the number 1 guy and realizing that he could not do that shit
was
very like the most important thing to ever happen to him. Like no lie, like I really do think like that changed Kyrie's career. Where he was like, he was sick of getting tired, sick and tired of calling LeBron's number 2, and he couldn't do it. Went to Boston and failed as the number 1 option. Burning stage in the stadium and all the off the court stuff.
He's doing
like,
some of the weirdest shit.
Yeah, like
it's not even like I'm not even talking about like some. Well, he said something controversial. Like he's doing like very, very weird stuff, and then also like kind of trying to play victim, but not playing victim.
Yeah, like I said, like it was like I said, there was like a really weird stretch for him, kind of like how Damon said, where it was like that sell until he left out of Boston. Then when he got to the Nets, it was kind of like the same thing. Like, okay, well, we went and got you KD, and we went and got you James Harden, and like now you're okay, you're learning to take that step back again. Like that to me, like especially then like he goes out and apologizes to LeBron for being a weirdo to him during those years in Cleveland because LeBron was the leader and I couldn't do that shit. Being a leader is not as simple as just because I'm the best player on the team.
Yep. There's
more to it than just being the superstar of a team. You can't just be a leader off of that. So I think getting a ring does help Kyrie. Top 5 is tough. I mean,
top
like
5
it is
very, very.
It is tough. Like I mean, I thought him getting left off the NBA 75 was weird to begin with, regardless of what he was doing.
Yeah, I didn't like that
because you got some other players on there that were pretty questionable, and so to leave Kyrie off is pretty insane. I mean, like I said, he's already changed the game of basketball for his career, regardless of his off highlight tapes alone. Literally, like I mean, like his ability to finish and his ability to the ball handling, like. He's changed. He's got one of the best moments in a finals matchup ever.
Yep.
I mean, probably a couple. I mean, the shot over Curry, the left-handed scoop layup over Draymond.
Left-handed scoop layup over Draymond.
Like, I mean, like he's got those moments. So, I mean, getting another ring does cement him, and like Devon said, as a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. I think for sure you can't leave him out at that point. But you never know. Like, I mean, Kyrie, what is he, 30, 32?
32, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's not done. It doesn't look like he's slowing down any.
He's definitely not slowing
down. So, I mean, like, even if they win this year, and you never know, they could get another one, I mean, before he's done. So, I do think it definitely makes him a Hall of Famer. And, I mean, if he does something crazy over the next couple of years, he could solidify himself in top 5.
Yeah.
The eye test makes him better than all those.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
actual accolades and stats and all that. No.
Like if you say if you watch him, you're like, this is the best basketball player to ever touch a basketball.
Yeah, it's like how does he not have MVP? How is he not a scoring champion? How is he not like? That's how I look at like a lot of guys like. It's crazy to think like Bradley Beal got closer to a scoring title than Kyrie has ever did. Like that doesn't, but it makes sense because Kyrie's finishing ability is to avoid contact. It's not to absorb contact.
He's not. Yes, it's his whole game is built around him avoiding injury.
Yeah. And he has a lot of injuries.
That's what I'm saying, which is crazy. Like I said, he is not looking to draw fouls and to create contact ever.
Yep. So I do think that Kyrie's legacy is mainly going to be, like you said, off the eye test, off the talent, off of what we've seen him do and the capability that we know he can do. But, like, leadership-wise, accolade-wise, like, we talking about, like, ones. Like, we talking about, like, Steph Curry's and Magic Johnson's and Isaiah Thomas's, like, people, and Oscar Robertson's, like, people that led their teams before.
I also think what hurts his legacy is that he's always just been a tweener.
Yeah.
He's never been a solidified point guard.
Yeah, and when he was on the Nets, he took a step back so far. He was the third best player on that team. We cannot say he wasn't. James Harden was better at the time, and he was handling the ball. Kyrie's averaging like 4 assists with I think with Harden in the lineup.
That's what I'm saying.
It was at a point where he really wasn't.
Like, it was really weird. Like he's just always been a tweener. So like, how do you even judge him? You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end, like even when he retires, like damn, do I judge him as a shooting guard or a point guard?
Because now Luka's is
because now Luka's the main ball handler. So it's like that's another thing that I think affects how you look at him.
Yeah.
It's like what do we consider him as at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know.
But you mentioned Luka and Prime Harden. I think I seen a clip about it. You were talking about it, but
Yeah.
you can go into it a little bit further.
So what I was saying was James Harden went on this run. You could start it in like 2016, from like 2016, 2019, to where if he wasn't the player he was, like we already talking about Golden State as being one of the greatest dynasties in sports and all that. Like, let's think of how many losses they had in the playoffs besides the Rockets. Like, maybe the Blazers might have stole one year.
Yeah.
The Cavs,
Pelicans got 2, I think.
Cavs, like after KD came, the Cavs I think got 1.
Yeah.
And I don't know what other team beat them. Like to be honest,
That got gains from the Warriors, like when
yes,
they were like
beat
dynasty?
like from 2016 up.
Man.
I don't know what team in the playoffs beat them. James Harden and the Rockets beat them multiple. Like gave us
Raptors
great
too.
series.
Raptors, I guess.
Yeah,
you could
Raptors
give them
gave
their-
us multiple
And that was when
great
KD
series
got
with
hurt.
them.
Yeah.
Multiple great series with them. So like that's why I say James Harden. Yeah, he didn't put up 35 like he did in the regular season, in the playoffs, but without those James Harden Rockets teams, the Warriors would have probably 2-3 playoff losses. Like we looking at them as like
We're already looking
insane
at them
run.
as one of the best.
That's
teams
what I mean.
ever.
Like, but without Harden, we like, damn, like there's
There
no
was a wash.
competition.
It was probably the point where they were going. The league was probably have to step in. Like, yo, what the fuck going on?
Hell no, we can't.
Like,
can't
yo,
do
team
that.
up type shit. Like
You know what I mean?
LeBron
They'd
go-
put KD and
go
LeBron on
here,
the same team.
Like LeBron go here, you go there. Like it's like
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 shit,
that.
crazy man. But I do. I give the edge to Harden, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's just the 3-point shooting, like
Prime Harden was a different
his
animal.
over unders at 36.5. Like
Yeah.
motherfuckers moving crazy.
But he also did really benefit from that free throw shit at a point though too. And you kind of
That's true, but Luka would.
They
too.
literally made a whole rule.
If
'cause
Luka
of that,
can
though.
make free throws, he'd be benefiting from that shit too. Luka shoot like
Yeah,
70%.
realistically.
Like Harden shoot
He
about
goes to the
80.
line a lot.
So I don't know. I probably get the edge to Harden though, but damn, like
Yeah,
Luka,
I'll
get a ring.
I'll get an edge to Harden too. Yeah. Just because he got the MVP.
He got
If
that.
we talking about eye test and stuff, like Harden's a better shooter. I want to say he's a better finisher than Luka. Like just without even like looking at stats, like just eye test. Oh, he's better passer.
You look at Harden's years from the moment he got to Houston until he left to the Nets.
Like
He looked like
I'm
the best
talking-
basketball player ever.
Yeah, I'm talking like like he was threatening Steph Curry. Like
Yeah, like him and Curry were
he's
literally like
threatening. Like he had MVP year over LeBron and Curry.
And when LeBron was like
And
literally back
KD,
Cleveland at his
like,
prime.
all
And
them.
he stayed relevant. You had Russ, Curry, you had Kyrie. You know, everybody was saying Kyrie was better than.
That's when all these guys that are getting older are like at the top
John
of their
Wall. You had all these top guards, and Harden was staying relevant. Now, I mean, you got Shea, Luka. Like those two are just on a league of their own.
You gotta think about the careers that he's given people. Like when people don't even think about this, like
Eric Gordon.
I'm talking about to say Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, like Dwight Howard got his career
PJ
resurgence there.
Tucker.
PJ Tucker got
PJ
10,
Tucker
he
definitely
got
made his
10
career.
extra years damn near off of
Yeah.
him. Like I'm talking like some of the like worst of the worst players at that time going to Houston and being relevant because James Harden took all that attention away. Like even as far as like Pat Bev played next to James Harden for a little bit and benefited from that. So a lot of people benefited from playing with Harden, and he didn't get a competent player next to him until he got Russell Westbrook, and then he got, or I want to say it was
I think it
CP3,
was
and
Chris
then
Paul first,
yeah,
and then-
CP3 first, then Russell
They
Westbrook.
got,
It's like
even the Russell Westbrook he got wasn't who he.
yeah, exactly, and that was the best he was getting. Like 35-year-old Chris Paul, like 31, just like off the fresh of my prime, like Russell Westbrook. Like he didn't play with somebody that was better than him until KD again. Like that, literally the best player before it was KD, and then after it was KD again. Like that's literally that's your range. The one of the best small forwards ever,
And that's really crazy to think
that's
about
who
the
you're
Houston.
under.
That's how bad Houston really had it. Like, like
They
Houston
had it
never
horrible.
And
put
they were still winning a lot of games.
Chandler Parsons literally.
Yeah.
Let's go Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, not to take nothing away from Luka, just more or less just giving our props to Harden. Like we watched his entire.
At least the
prime.
Mavs this whole time they've had Luka had tried to get him teammates.
Yeah,
They've
been very
swapped-
active in trade markets. They've signed people. They've given him. They've drafted well, in my opinion. Like the Jaden Hardy drafting was great. I mean, they were taking guys like the 20s. Something like Dwight Powell had good years for them. And it wasn't like they were taking no bums or nothing.
Guys
And they
that
kept
were
a
playing.
consistent coach with him. Like he wanted Jason Kidd, like got Jason Kidd. Like that's a lot. That's enough right there. When Harden wanted Mike D'Antoni to stay, they said, "Fuck no, he's got to go." So I mean, it's a lot of things that you can obviously contribute to both of the guys' success. Which I mean, obviously, if Luka gets his ring, then we can have a different conversation.
And I also think Harden hit his prime at like the worst possible time to hit it because
Dude,
like, even
right?
Paul George talked about it like at on his podcast where he's like, nowadays organizations will pick the players over the coaching staff and this and that. Like, if Harden was in his prime right now, they had to give Harden whatever he wanted, and he would have his own team built around him the way he wanted it to.
Yep.
The same way they did it with Luka, the same way they do it with SGA, the same way they do it with all these superstars right now. Like, Harden literally just happened to hit his prime at the worst possible time.
Yeah. And Golden State was there,
that's
too.
what I'm saying.
Like Golden State being there, LeBron going, like, ape shit. Like, realistically, if the Rockets made it, I think LeBron would have took them out 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was playing that fucking good. Like, it was just, they had no path to winning no ring.
LeBron was literally going to the playoffs and then the finals and leading every category for the entire
talking
playoff
like
and the finals.
13 and 9
Like,
and shooting 51%.
and leading by like a wide margin in every single category.
Next guy is fucking Tristan Thompson. like, come on, son. Like, and that's what we became accustomed to was like, all right, you got to put up these numbers. Like, okay, you already did that before. Like, that's how it got bad. That's how bad it got in 2018 with Harden. Like, you already was doing that go with a ring. It's like, motherfucker, I'm putting up 40, 10, and 10 in all of February into March.
I'm about to say he had a crazy month.
I'm talking like he had, I think he had a triple double.
Didn't he have a month where he literally averaged like 38?
Like 38. I think it was
I
like
think
30.
he averaged averaged like 39.
People try to take away from it because it was an All-Star break. I'm like, bro, that's still like 15, like probably 10, 15 games.
Yeah, it's still like 10 games.
You're still putting up 40 something a game. Like, come on, though.
And that was a time when, like, I think I want to say that was Paul George's good year. Like, that was a really good year
With OKC, right?
Yeah. And like I was like Paul George had a run. I was like, bro, James Harden doing everything better than him right now. Like, we really can't say like what's a run because we starting to get desensitized to Harden. Like, all right, he did that before. Like,
that's an unfortunate thing. That's why like when good players are good, it's like, damn, like go do something.
I
cool.
think Giannis ended up winning that year that Harden had his last like.
They were trying to take away Westbrook averaging a triple double twice. like yeah, we already saw you do that.
Yeah, we already.
Like somebody else go do that. Like,
245 for 73.
And I hate like, that's a whole nother episode. Like people taking away from like Westbrook because like we watched him. Like we if anybody knows like the people that actually
those are the most fun. Those are the most fun years of my basketball
ascension
life,
of Westbrook. I'm not even talking about like the fact that like he literally took KD leaving so personally.
They literally said that Westbrook was out of his cotton picking mind. Like that. You know how good you got to be to say some shit like that.
Like I'm just gonna get racist.
like you know how good you have to be for somebody to say that to you on national television.
Like, I'm about to say something.
Like come on, bro. We'll never see that again.
But that's basically our thoughts about the finals. Obviously, should be a good series. Hopefully, it's a good series. If it's not,
I'll just watch the Stanley Cup. I guess.
a really good playoffs that like the way it started compared to how it ended is very disappointing. Obviously, but into the more important news for us, the boys season 4. Now, Damian and Damon are actually like avid watchers of this show.
I have a YouTube video to send you. This dude wraps it all up.
I watched a few last night.
Yeah,
and I was gonna. That's why I texted you like, "Yo, are you up?" And obviously you wasn't up because you're weird as fuck. And I don't understand why you went to bed at 7:27.
Dude told me to text him. Dude said soft launch.
Like,
good
say
night.
good night next time.
Like,
bro.
my fault.
Say good night next time. That shit weird. But they are actually avid watchers. I watched a few YouTube videos to catch up. I watched season 1. I watched Gen V. So I know a little bit, but not too much. Just basically gonna be y'all like just basically going at it. Realistically, before we get into everything, obviously we watched season 4 trailer where we were very excited for it. We already talked about it. There's a TikTok about it. You guys go check that out. But more importantly, I'll start with you, Damien. I think you already mentioned on the podcast before. We were talking about things that we already knew going into the season. If you want to give like a brief kind of recap of everything that because I think we already did the theorizing video with the trailer and whatnot, but just a quick little recap of everything we already know.
So Butcher is dying.
Mm-hmm.
He is on his deathbed from taking the Temp V. They told him to stop doing it. He got like lesions on his brain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, Huey didn't follow suit, so at least
I seen how that happened too. That was pretty cool. It was like, it's like, how many did you take? It's like between 3 and 5, and I was like, no. When she said between 3 and 5 is deadly, I was like,
come on, like pay attention, read, bro. But at the same time, Butcher, even though he's dying, obviously he's still hell bent on taking care of the suits. So to connect that to Gen V, he finds the virus that they were testing on at the university that can kill soups. That seemed like a big part of the trailer. They showed a little bit of that. What else do we know? We see Black Noir in the trailer, who last time we checked, Black Noir got his heart ripped out by Homelander.
Didn't know he was black.
Yeah.
I mean, he's named Black Noir, but I'm like,
that was the only thing. He never wore that helmet.
Yeah,
until,
he took it off.
Until Soldier Boy fucked him up. And then he started wearing it again because he literally burned his whole face.
Yeah, like they show how he taking it. I was like, The brain.
That's still one of the best scenes ever, man. That animation they show of how Soldier Boy like went crazy, that shit was so dope. And A-Train has a new heart. He killed Blue Hawk. He killed Blue Hawk in the last season.
I know, like I watched the video, bro.
My favorite part of season 3 was him getting his revenge on Blue Hawk for hurting his brother, who he paralyzed his brother in an attack. I wouldn't say Blue Hawk was racist, and it wasn't supposed to be on purpose. It wasn't supposed to be on purpose, but it ended up being on purpose. Because A-Train made a dumb decision to bring him to an all-black community for some reason. So
like, you don't like all-black communities. Let me bring you to mine though. Like,
but like the A-Train scene, that shit got me so hyped, man. Because A-Train when he runs, it's the train noise, and you ain't heard that in mad seasons because he don't run no more. And then he grabs Blue Hawk and does it. I was like, yo, that shit really had me lit. Soldier Boy was taken by the CIA. Grace Mallory took Soldier Boy at the end of the last season after he was knocked out. So we could see him, we're not too sure yet. I can't imagine they would waste Jensen Ackles and hold him off for a whole season. Yeah. So that's another possibility. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in this season, and he's got his own poster the other day with Billy Butcher. I've seen that. So there's no way that he's going to be somebody more important than I think that they've been putting on, or letting on, I should say. What else is there? What am I missing?
You could talk about Victoria Newman.
Her status, and that's another connection.
Homelander base.
Yeah, and that connection. So she's basically now at the end of the last season, the Homelander had the Deep kill the vice president, or the dude's running mate, so that Victoria Newman could run as vice president with Robert Singer. So obviously we know that she's a soup. She has the ability to explode people's heads.
Her reveal was crazy.
Yeah, that was dope. The season two finale showing her like that was dope because you see somebody get her head blown off for the first time in season 2 with Raynor, who was cool with Butcher. Yeah, and so that was a very cool reveal. So the Deep is everybody's basically working for Homelander at this point. Everybody's scared of Homelander. Homelander's basically on the brink. So everybody's scared of Homelander. So that's how the 7 are looking right now. Yeah, where Homelander's basically got an iron grip on them. So there's nobody that's able to push back against him right now. He has a son. He took, what's his son's name? Ryan, yes.
Come on, I know ball,
you're cooking right now.
I know ball, bro.
He took Ryan back from Butcher. Tried to get Ryan, and Ryan didn't want to do it because I think Butcher kind of like basically told him like yo, you're the reason that everything went wrong. Yeah. Like he blamed him for everything. So now he's with Homelander, which is never good. Homelander's literally since they got together has been trying to say like, yo, you need to use your powers.
Yeah. Like, and I remember Ryan technically being the reason that his mom died. I think he hit her with a
yeah, well, because he got mad and used his laser vision and he destroyed Stormfront. Yeah, but hit his mom as well. Yeah, and that's why like Butcher like flipped out and like gave him to the CIA, and then he was trying to go back and forth with him, and then he couldn't do it. Yeah. Obviously we know that the Gen V characters were captured. Yep. At the end of the first season.
And we know that it's picking up days after that.
Yeah, so this is pretty close after. So we'll see the fallout and how they kind of hide what Homelander did.
Butcher found the school too.
That's how he finds the virus. Okay, so this is a couple days after. And so obviously we'll see how they cover up the whole Homelander thing. I mean, Homelander obviously went there and took all of your Gen V main characters. It'll be interesting to see, like I said, how they handle what's his name's passing. If we see any of these characters,
I feel like we might get a rest in peace chance.
Yeah, like probably just more so like a brief cameo here and there, just like showing that they're there. Obviously, we know that Sam and Kate are in the season. Yep. So we know that they are a part of it, which I know we kind of had theories that Sam could be Black Noir. Yeah. The more it gets closer, I'm like, yeah, maybe not. I think he's a little too unhinged for a character that can't speak.
Yeah, he talked a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe that won't happen. I know we have 2 new soups. We have Firecracker, and then there's the black woman. I don't know her name. I don't think they said her name in the trailer. Firecracker is the one in like the camo and red. Yeah. She's like the redhead. So she's like, this is like a very political season. I mean, every season's been political. Yeah. But this really feels like them putting out.
I think this is like where they're actually running for like.
It's really Starlight versus Homelander. That's what I'm saying. So I could see like that becomes like a presidential kind of thing, which is hilarious that they're doing this right before the election. Like this is gonna end.
I feel like
that's what the point is. I feel like that's the point. And like that was obviously a big part of the trailer. So I mean, there's a lot going on. Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of plot points to get to. I know Eric Kripke the other day came out and basically said that the 5-season plan doesn't look like it's going to happen now because they have so much to go through. I hope that doesn't mean that they're going to stretch the show out to the point where it gets bad. But I do trust him, though. He's done a good job. And I think what he said was taken out of context because he came out himself and tweeted and said that he knows how the story is going to end. He just doesn't think he's going to be able to fit it into 5 seasons anymore. Yeah. So if he still has an idea for how to end it, then cool. And I even saw some theories where everybody was like, okay, well, what if they kill Homelander in one of the next seasons and then Butcher's the bad guy for a couple seasons? Because
that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, what if they just pick a different bad guy that we already seen that just takes Homelander's role, and the best option is the Butcher.
That's what I'm saying.
To me, at least.
So there's
based off what I've seen and based off what the trailer has shown.
For sure. And like I said, so there's definitely a lot going on. And like the trailer looks insane. I mean, they find a way to one up themselves every season. I can't wait to see what the scene is this season. Like I've been watching recaps and all that, just trying to catch up. And like every season has like that one moment where you're like, "What did I just watch?" And I don't mean like in a good story way. I mean
like disgusting.
That is the most gruesome, disgusting thing I've ever seen. How did they get away with putting that?
I'm trying to think what it was in season 1.
Season 1 had a
I wouldn't say the opening.
I'd probably
scene.
say translucent getting blown.
I was about to say translucent.
That was like the first time the show like really like shows like massive like gore.
Yeah,
so they literally blow translucent apart. I mean, you could say the plane scene was pretty scary as far as like Homelander basically like not saving anybody.
And the second season, I know for sure was the.
No, that's season 3.
Is that season 3?
Where he
goes in? Okay, yeah. I know for sure that's like
the dude that can shrink. He goes into the dudes. Yeah,
but also you could put up the deep eating the octopus. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one because he could.
He was not good.
The Deep's whole thing is that during season 2 is like he's literally traumatized because. Everybody obviously they expose the Compound V is not like they're not born like this.
Yeah.
So obviously every superhero goes through like a crazy mental crisis. They're like, okay, well, I thought I was born like this and I wasn't. And like the Deep's big thing is like he talks about how he could hear these animals crying for help and being eaten and this and that in restaurants and pet stores. And he can't help them.
Yeah.
And then Homelander making him eat an octopus to kind of like subdue him is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna one up themselves. They were saying something like halfway through filming that they made something that you can't believe got passed, which scares me. Yeah. Because if that means if they're saying that, I believe it. Because they got away with that season 3 shot of the dude blowing up dude from inside by crawling into him. They could definitely up that.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested. Like I'm really excited. Like I said, I feel like that kind of wraps up the main story plots. Obviously, like the only one I think I'm missing is that Queen Maeve is gone. It's last time we saw she ran off with her girlfriend.
Yeah, I seen she got her powers taken basically.
Yeah, like she like because Homelander she tackles the Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Out of the 7th tower and obviously his stuff
like,
burns the Compound V. Like his like explosive power that he had burns the Compound V out of your system. That's why they were trying to use him so bad to kill Homelander, and it obviously just never worked.
Because he was an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like shout out Jensen Ackles. He was such a fun part of season 3, man. Like they probably could not have casted anybody better to play him. So that's why I'm hoping we see him again, especially now that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in the show. Like I feel like their interactions would just be hilarious.
All right. That's a really good wrap up. That was basically about everything that I actually did here going into season 4. But for you to mind, out of all the storylines that he did talk about, which one do you think is the best one, or more so even just one of your favorite ones?
I do think the Homelander versus Starlight is going to be probably the main like. Plot point of season 4. I think that it's gonna start off like as political as possible, but you gotta think Stormfront was really helping Homelander out, like with his political side and like his reputation, and she's gone, so he's becoming more unhinged. I think he's gonna snap probably midway through season 4. You got Butcher, he's dying. I think that's probably gonna get resolved. Nah, I think they're gonna drag that out. I think they're gonna drag that out.
That'll be the whole season to me.
Yeah, I think they're gonna drag that out. Trying to think of some other ones that could really be. I don't really think Sam and Kate is gonna play that big of a role in this season because they were kind of since Gen V is confirmed to have a season 2. I think they're gonna be way more prominent in season 2 of Gen V as opposed to in here. We may get some scenes from them here and there. I can even see Sam like kind of regretting what he did because of the voices in his head of his brother. But he's in too deep now, so it's nothing he can really do about it.
Yeah,
but
him and Homelander fight would be interesting.
Yeah, him and Homelander. I think he's gonna be the first one.
I do think
that's the narrative. I want to see how them two go at it.
I don't think Homelander's gonna have the patience for him.
My only thing is though is I feel like the show's at a point now where season 4. We need to start seeing some more important deaths. And I'm not saying like doing it just for the sake of doing it, but I'm saying we need to start seeing like plot points pay off. Yeah. How many more times can the boys run into Homelander and not one of them die?
Yeah, like
How many more
that's
times
one
can
thing
they,
I did
like,
notice
you know
about
what
these
I'm
TV.
saying?
They come to like a truce almost. Where,
Yeah,
we
like-
can't do it because Ryan's here. We can't do it because, well,
Like, I'm not expecting
this situation.
Like, I get that they're
you know?
important. They're the boys. Like, I get that they're the main part of the show. But like, how many more times can they run into a point where it's like, okay, well, we have a chance to kill Homelander, but Soldier Boy's bomb wouldn't go off. Oh,
That's
like
what
you
I
said,
think it was.
Ryan's here. That's when when they have the first main fight when Butcher takes the Temp V, and it's him and Soldier Boy versus Homelander, and Soldier Boy just can't do it. He can't blow himself because he already did it once.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it back to back. He already blew up the house. And so it's like, come on, like that's kind of like annoying. Like it's like the same thing. It's like how many more times can you fight Homelander and he keeps getting away? Like once again, I get these are the main villains. These are the main characters, but we're about to be this is season 4. You already said you can't wrap it up in 5 seasons. So how many more seasons can you get of just the same old, same old? Like you're killing off other soups, you're killing off other characters, no issue. But it's time for some storyline to start paying off, where we lose somebody that we actually care about.
Yeah.
Instead of just, you know what I'm saying? Like, no offense, Black Noir. Like that was a shocking death because like he's important to Homelander. I was like Homelander's right hand man, but he's clearly back at least, or in some capacity.
So it kind of.
It's like, what is the payoff there? Like, and I just can't see them copying the comic book storyline. Like, a lot of people like hated the comic book because it turned out Black Noir the whole time was a Homelander.
Yeah, it was Homelander. Yeah.
So it's like I can't see them doing that. Like, I cannot see them doing that in the show because they've already changed so much from the comics to make it better for the show. So I can't see them just falling back on that. So that's really what I want to see is just like some payoff now. Like, okay, like damn Huey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're dead.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, maybe a situation where like Crossfire kind of thing. Like even if it's Starlight that ends up being the reason that he takes like a blow or like a huge thing, and that makes her snap a little.
They showed
bit.
Homelander in the first 2 seasons where like literally he was accidentally killing people all the time with his powers, and somehow the boys avoid every accidental thing that Homelander could possibly do. It's massive plot armor, and it's kind of to a point where it's like, damn, like I said, I don't want nobody to get killed off just for the sake of like a shock, like you know what I'm saying, like that, because then that's like okay, then you're just doing it just for the shock value. But if it means something to the plot or something to the story, then I feel like you have to do it. Like I thought it was cool, like how they used the Deep. Like the Deep has been unimportant the whole time, and then he finally does something important, but it's a bad thing. He kills the vice president for Homelander.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this whole time, the Deep has never had anything important to do this entire show.
Yeah.
And then the first thing he does is the worst thing possible. And it looks like from the trailer, he's bad. He's full-blown bad guy now in support of Homelander. So...
Because he is too far gone now. It's like, all right, well,
I hope that, and I think kind of to go off what I know you asked about, like I'm looking forward to A-Train's redemption. I really do think that A-Train is gonna turn good.
Yeah.
I think
I'm waiting on that, but I also think him turning good is gonna lead to his death.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
I think he might get packed up in the season.
I could see him dying. Like him and Homelander have already had beef. Like Homelander's already made it known he hates him. But now we have a perfectly healthy A-Train. We have not had a perfectly healthy A-Train ever. He was on Compound V since the first episode. Yeah. So like we could see like maybe like what his full power capability is now that he's got a perfectly healthy heart. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't see him agreeing with all the stuff that Homelander's gonna have him doing. Because it's already kind of seems like he was already kind of questioning himself in season 3, and he was shocked to wake up alive after a massive heart attack, and they told him they gave him Blue Hawk's heart.
Yeah, the way I seen it is like he kills him and then literally just passes out because he having a heart attack, and then he wakes up. He looks pissed off because I think he knew.
I think he expected death.
But he was like, "Fuck! Like what the fuck? Just like how am I alive?" And then they tell me he got Blue Hawk's heart. It's like what the fuck?
And that's literally an even bigger shock to him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
so
even worse. We put the man I just killed.
I think low key, I think Sam is gonna be the one that kills somebody from the boys. I think that's gonna like wake Homelander up. Like, yo, this motherfucker is a problem. Like you got to get him. He's unhinged. Like,
so you think?
Me, like,
so I guess it begs the question, like, do you think it's gonna be like 3 different lanes? So we got like the boys, like the righteous ones who do all the good things. We got Sam and Kate potentially trying to figure out their place in the 7, which leads to Sam kind of branching off and like challenging Homelander, and Kate's, trying to get with Victoria Newman. I think they already had their interaction before. So it's like, I guess you got like a lot of superlatives there, but maybe you get like a 3-lane thing where like, I guess Butcher might see Sam as a threat to Homelander, and maybe he takes him in. Because I could see a situation where, like, if A-Train does go good, he doesn't die in season finale. He probably dies more toward the middle of the season,
right.
like episode. Like it's only 8 episodes, so like maybe like 4, 5, 6 even, and then obviously you get maybe the Butcher trying to recruit Sam, and Sam still can't be controlled. So.
Like the showrunner came out and said that he knows that eventually that Butcher and Homelander has to come to a head.
Yeah.
Like they have to have their final duel at some point. But you already have Butcher setting up as he's sick, so he can't take the Tempe no more.
Yeah.
You can't take Compound V as an adult either.
Yep.
So he has no thing. So it's like how you guys said. But we've also not seen anybody that has like really hurt Homelander outside of Soldier Boy or Queen Maeve. Queen Maeve is now completely out of the picture.
Yeah.
And really all she did was make his nose bleed.
Yeah.
And then Soldier Boy didn't look like he injured him at all. And Soldier Boy's supposed to be Homelander. I mean, that's like Homelander's dad, technically.
It's
the same
kryptonite.
DNA.
Like you took my DNA. That's
Yeah,
like,
so
that's based on your
so
dad.
it's like when do we even see like a character that can even step to Homelander? Like, can Sam do that? Like, is that in his power?
I don't think it's in his power. I think it's in his mind. Like,
Yeah.
I'm crazy enough. Like, nobody matches Homelander's crazy. Like, I don't think Homelander's this powerful being, like, the most powerful character.
He's a psychopath.
I think he's a psychopath, so it makes him the most dangerous.
Yep.
Like, if you're
He's
unhinged,
unpredictable.
that's what makes you so good. So the unhingedness of Sam, that's why I think maybe then Butcher can't control him, and Butcher has to make a decision, Homelander or Sam, because
Right.
Sam's on the rampage, and maybe something happens there.
Yeah, I think Ashley and like maybe even Victoria Newman is gonna be more hands on with Sam and Kate.
Yeah,
And I
I-
think
Yeah,
that's
they're gonna
when
try to
Homelander-
groom him.
Yeah, they're gonna try,
I think-
and then it's not gonna work, and then that's when Homelander gonna step in like, yo, you need to control these.
I think what it
motherfuckers.
is too is I can even see where like they take Kate away from Sam because Kate.
I
even though
think
she-
I
even though
thought
she
I
got
think
her
Kate's
hand-
gone from him.
Even though
I
I
think she's
think
gonna take
even
him.
though she got her hand blown off, it's a pretty good ability to have somebody that can influence as a political partner.
That's what I think. I think Kate's gonna be fine. I think Kate's gonna be with Victoria. I think I'm almost sure that's.
And I
gonna
can see
happen.
where Sam kind of flips out about that because Kate's really the only one that Sam that was close to at that
Yeah.
point. So you know what I'm saying, but I do think they're gonna tie Gen V in more than what we're thinking though. I can't see it
expect
being
a
like
lot
a
of Gen
prominent
V
thing.
by episode 5.
Yeah, like,
I don't
I really
think we
do
get any at all
because-
in the first 3 episodes. Maybe get like a teaser.
I can even see like Sam like one of those things where he sees that his friends are locked up. Like
That's
I mean,
what
at
I'm
the end of the day,
saying.
he still has
we see a
feelings for that
teaser.
girl.
I think we see a teaser.
Yeah,
of
like,
like
he's-
a dissension from like Sam sees. What's
Emma.
her name? Emma. Like he could see Emma and like even they mention their names on the news or something like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Like we haven't
I
heard
could
from
see that where
them.
maybe he's the one that breaks them
They're
out.
on
and then,
trial
like,
or something like that.
Yeah.
So anything. Like
Or
that.
maybe he tried to like recruit them like as a team to like take somebody out or something like that, and they end up going their different ways. Something of that nature, but
Because you do have to get them out. Like you can't wait till Gen V season 2 for them to escape.
Yeah,
Especially if we know where they're at. You have to get them out during the
think it's
boys.
impossible.
and then
unless
Gen
the full season 4 is in one day, you can't do that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we get 3 episodes, so I do think we do get some.
But I do think this is the show. I do think this is the season where they do what they did in the comics, where the Supes take over the government. Like I do think this is.
I
where
think that's fully
Homelander-
gonna happen.
Yeah,
yes.
like I
think
don't.
that's
And
gonna
I
happen
don't think.
before
I
the
don't
season
think it's
finale.
gonna be on like a presidential debate thing. I think it's gonna be a Homelander taking the government by force thing, because they don't have anything that can stop him.
That's why I think the first couple episodes gonna be him trying to be one. Let's be equal. But me as the head, and it's like fuck.
Because
like,
you even heard the
can't
trailer.
stop
They
me.
said that the Supes are literally putting people in camps.
Yeah, Supes versus humanity.
Yeah,
kinda
so
thing,
it's pretty obvious that that's where they're heading. That was the big comic book storyline where like Homelander recruits all these different Supes, and they just take the White House.
Yep.
They're like, okay, like we don't need you guys to run us anymore. We could govern ourselves.
Yep. I like the idea of the Supes versus humanity thing. Obviously, that's been obviously in the cards for a long time. They've been trying to show Homelander's been trying to show their superior to humans in general. So obviously that was always going to happen. But before we get into theorizing, like really theorizing about certain characters' deaths, because we could always say like, oh, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die. But I guess we can more or less say how they could die, like situations like that. But Damon, I don't think you ever mentioned your favorite character in the show yet.
What's mine, bro?
I don't really have one.
Emma,
I
bro.
mean,
That's my
Homelander
best
scenes always get you like, oh shit, like Homelander on the screen. I probably have to say.
You don't gotta have a
Really,
favorite
Huey
character,
guy.
bro. The way it came pressure, you don't gotta have a favorite character.
Dude, really a Huey guy. I didn't know you was a Huey
Nah.
guy.
I thought you was a Mother's Milk guy for sure.
I thought you was a Mother's
What?
Milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say Homelander just because like his scenes make me like damn, like what the fuck you gonna do now? But if I had to go like, I'm not a Homelander kind of like I don't support what he do type shit. Like so if I had to like support somebody,
Don't say Starlight, bro.
Why not, bro?
That's not you.
Why not, bro?
That's not you.
That's not you, I guess.
Positivity, bro. Positivity. So yeah, I'd probably say Homelander, Starlight.
I mean, I don't know. Yours is A-Train? like an unspeed character,
I can't.
like a slow motherfucker.
Yo, but wouldn't it be crazy though if Huey end up like dying or like getting really hurt trying to save A-Train? Like that would be a crazy.
That's why it's gonna be a crazy
got so many good
180.
storylines, man. Like A-Train's storyline this whole time has been so good. Like
even if A-Train saves Huey and he takes a blow, like I do think, like now this is weird to theorizing. Like I do think him turning good is gonna be him saving Huey and taking a blow. Like it's gonna be now the situation is not his heart. It's actually this blow.
Hold on, my favorite character is Kamiko. I forgot about her.
That's a good.
Did she get her powers taken too?
She got him back though.
She got him back. Okay.
She got him taken, and then she makes what's his name, Frenchie, inject her again with the compound V.
Say nobody should be sleeping on Frenchie.
Frenchie's a great character.
I forgot about Day-Lo. I forgot about Kamiko.
I didn't limit it to Soup.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about Soup.
No, I didn't limit it to I said favorite character.
I think Frenchie's the best of the boys. Like Frenchie to me is the most interesting character, especially his relationship with Kamiko. Yeah, I think he's the most interesting one. I mean, even from the first time that you see him. Yeah, he was really a gun runner, chemist. Everything. He does everything. And his side story is crazy. It's how he's tied to the Russian mafia and shit or whatever. Like that was like one of the best side stories. He literally got them into Russia. Like he's the whole reason the Soulja Boy is in America.
Yeah. So the theorizing part is like obviously we could say who dies, but I do think that like you saying the A-Train, like his redemption, could lead to him like saving Huey, or or he could be the reason that Huey dies or something like that. I do think. If I do have to pick, obviously, somebody that would have that moment, it would have to be Huey and A-Train. Right. Obviously, I would get rid of Huey because I think that would lead to what we said earlier. The Butcher potentially going bad. Starlight snapping. All these things.
I think he's the most important character to the boys as far as like he's like the little brother of the group. Yeah. Like Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and Butcher care about him more than they care about
That's why I think if he goes out, that's when you get the whole group to like finally, all right, now we take it a step up because Homelander's always like, mind games and, mind control and abuse and stuff like that. Like now we got to take it up a notch. For sure. And the Butcher loses the most, obviously, because
he's already lost Becca and he's already lost Ryan.
Yeah, like that's
losing
the
Huey's
last
just
straw,
another thing. Especially when you already think you're dying.
Exactly. So I think that makes the most sense. And if A-Train would have to again prove himself to the boys if he really does want to show that he's good. If he ends up being the reason that Huey does die, and I say he's gonna kill him, but it could be the reason.
But anything can happen, right?
Yeah, literally anything can happen. But you talked about with them taking Kate away from Sam. Now the only reason I could see that being a weird thing because like Sam is such a wild card. Like by himself, like he can't go with the boys.
I think he'd be more with like I think that when he'll start pushing up in the ranks, like he'll be in scenes with like the Deep and like the Deep is so Homelander made. Like he want everything Homelander. Sam like, what the fuck is you doing all this for Homelander for? Like I'm not doing all this shit. And then
Sam really was on shit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even want to downplay Sam. Like Sam was always on shit. Like for real. Like he always was on shit.
I'm not
he
fucking
questioned
with this
everything.
Man, like,
he questioned everything.
Yeah.
I definitely think he'll be strictly under like Vought control. Like, I don't think we see him with any. I don't even think we see him outside of Vought. I think we see him with Stan Edgar and we see him with Ashley. I see Homelander using intimidation against him at first and him being stuck with them. Yeah. I could even see like a Black Noir thing. Like I said, I already said I don't think he is Black Noir, but like Black Noir's been the sneaky ninja character this whole time. How do we know that they don't just have him watching? Yeah. Black Noir's power levels match up with somebody like Sam. Yep. So I could even see everything where they're like, okay, like that's your watchdog. Yep. Like like Black Noir, you got to keep him under control. Make sure he's good. I can't see him having many scenes. He's already shown that he can't. He's a psychopath. Like he's got mental issues. They can't just let him walk around free. Yeah, and Sam is
such an important character to Gen V in general. Like the fact that we still don't know all his capabilities tells me everything that like maybe him and Homelander don't fight, but you plant those seeds like heavy that the next time they do see each other, they are going to fight.
And I seen some. I think Black Noir was fighting Butcher in the trailer.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I low-key got a crazy take. Hear me out the right. I think because you got to think the Deep his fucking like image and all that is already kind of. I think Sam beat the fuck out of Deep, and Deep got to end up being Black Noir, low key. Like
he gets damaged that
bad? That bad. Like Deep reputation's already fucked up. Like we can't have you around. You fucking on my political. You fucking on my political party. You doing all this? Like yo, you need to put on this suit. I'm not gonna win no political battles with you on my side.
The only thing the only reason I wouldn't agree with that is because Black Noir's skill set is so unique. Yeah. Like the Deep. I mean, everybody that has Compound V has strength and they have the better speed and all that. Like there's just no way they could convince me that the Deep could learn how to use guns and knives and blades like that efficiently.
That's
It
true.
we only did see like 6 seconds of him.
No, yeah, I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
think-
mean,
I remember him missing a shot.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Missing, he was missing, you know what I'm saying? He might be ass. Like, yo, if you
So
can't.
that's the only reason I
don't.
don't think it's Black Noir, because he probably hits that shot not 10 times out of 10. Like he's point blank range as the Butcher. Like it's not some crazy suit that has movement or nothing. Like he not you on Call of Duty. You know what I'm
my
saying?
fault.
Like he can't move.
He not
really
buddy hopping like
that.
me.
Like he not. Like he's not. You know,
Because you gotta
some
think,
agile
Deep
guy.
started off with Starlight, like fucking with Starlight. He probably might fuck with Sam or Kate. And they just beat his ass. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
but
I like you
I
can't be on
don't.
my political.
I
you can't be on my
can
political
see
side.
Sam. I can see Sam and Deep fighting. Yes,
Yeah,
I don't.
like you can't be on my political side doing like this. Your second time, your second instance, you fucking some shit up. Like, go put this suit on, go do something else. Like, I can't have you as your image right now.
I see that. I definitely see where you guys are coming from. I don't know. I just feel like that just be so detrimental to Deep's character development. Like this whole time he was a shitty character who did a bunch of bad stuff. They sent him to Sandusky, Ohio.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do this whole time. They sent him to the church, and then the whole point of season 2 and season 3 was redeeming him. And he finally becomes a good character, and then Homelander gets him to do bad. But it's like what is the point then at that rate? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I wouldn't say. Well, obviously he's not saying like beat the shit out of him to like.
no,
kill
no,
him.
I'm not. I know. Like, I'm not
But
like, I'm not
like
like
you
taking
do
over.
kind
you know-
of. I understand when he's saying like take him out of the light for that run for the to actually take over. But then obviously at a point like you I'm assuming that Homelander just uses his power to take over. Like that's the plan.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, I get the character development is not gonna be great, but at the same time, I don't think we would lose sleep if that happened. Like if the Deep if he gets beat up, or if him and Sam have an altercation. Like even if he don't get beat up crazy, him and Sam have an altercation where the Deep goes to Homelander like, yo, he's not right. And then him and Homelander and Sam had that, or Kate has to like stop Homelander, and like maybe she like goes to touch him, and then like, you know what I'm saying, he like, oh, you trying to you basically just like your friends, like you know what I'm saying, like I can't have y'all.
I do think that'll
near
be the
each
biggest
other.
question mark of the whole season. Like I don't think we find out who Black Noir is right away.
I don't think we find out.
I don't even think we will find him out until like
late.
Because they already know that we know that he got killed at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
So there's no way they're just gonna be like, oh, here he is again. Like, you know, unless they show us a scene where he healed himself. I know Black Noir, one of his abilities is to heal himself, but unless I see that, I'm going to assume there's somebody else in that suit the entire time.
Yeah, and I think that's a good side plot because Black Noir doesn't have much.
Yeah, I mean,
to
he
go
doesn't
off
even
of.
talk really. Like I said, the only reason we even know anything about Black Noir is because of flashbacks and an animated scene.
Yeah.
Or it could kind of be like how Invincible had Donald pop up in the first episode, and we was watching like, didn't this motherfucker die? And they don't really talk about it till about episode.
That's what I'm saying.
2 or
Yeah,
3,
then they try to explain it. Like, okay, like, this is this.
that could be that. I only said the Deep because like if Homelander's trying to win this political battle, his image is fucked up. Like if he's on his side, you can't have the motherfucking wrote shitty
That's why
books.
I think that's why you can.
He don't
use
like
your,
women.
That's when you use your
like,
power.
I think Starlight like just might go at Deep, and then it's gonna fuck up with like Homelander. I think that's gonna be the main thing. Starlight can't beat Homelander. Like you gotta go around, you gotta beat around the bush. You gotta talk about the Seven, Stormfront, all that. And then that's when Homelanders get mad at like, yo, this team's ass. Like I gotta do this myself. Like that's what I really think is gonna come down to it. Yeah, like I said, I think Sam and Kate not gonna fuck with Deep. I think Deep's gonna try to be like, yo, I'm second to Homelander. Like, yo, fuck this, get out my face. Get out my face, beat his ass. Something gonna happen. I'm trying to think who else is in the 7 right now. We got
It's Deep, A-Train, Homelander,
A-Train.
Firecracker, the other one. There's 6 right now, and Black Noir. No, there are 7.
Yeah, but if you count Black Noir, like whenever he comes back, I don't know if it'd be the first.
Yeah, Homelander, A-Train, Black Noir, Firecracker. There's the Black Girl. I feel like I'm missing something. The Deep, that's 6. And then there definitely is all 7 of them.
And I think Homelander's gonna try to like manipulate A-Train to the point where like A-Train's not taking that shit no more because
That's another reason though. Like A-Train literally has been like Homelander's been talking shit about A-Train since season 2.
Like dude,
Literally,
since,
he tried to replace him since
I'm
season
like,
2.
The motherfuckers, they going
Like
at
A-Train
it.
has no reason.
in Homelander defense though, the motherfucker couldn't run. Like I feel him. Like yo,
The energy
you can't
drink
run.
commercial is insane.
Like you can't run. Like
You didn't like the African colorway?
you eating 30,000. You eating 30,000 calories to not run. Like you just on the team. Like you. I feel him like low key like bro.
Called you drinking a milkshake
instead
instead. He called him a fat fuck.
Like you low key not doing shit, but like now you can run, so I need you. So
That's funny.
I mean, I don't want to like obviously throw anything out the question. Like for this season because getting 3 episodes is crazy in general. Like next week we getting 3 episodes. Like that's
I'm gonna have to devote 3 hours of my time.
Like 3
I'm
hours
not.
of
There's
my
no
time
way
to
I'm
watch
going
it.
to bed without watching all 3.
and it's crazy because you got to think like something's gonna happen in that third episode. They put 3 for a reason.
Shit, they could probably drop it, or it'd be even worse if they make something crazy at the end of the first one, and then the second and third episodes are just nothing.
Yeah, I'll be pissed. But that's something they could do to pace the season a little bit.
Because I could see, because I mean, like the craziest scene of season 3, how we talked about when the dude gets blown up, happened in literally the first episode.
First 10 minutes.
Yeah, so like I
and
could.
then, and then like you said, like A-Train kills Huey's girlfriend first 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, so like I could see them like they like to start their seasons off with like something that you don't expect, just set the tone.
I think I don't know. I think there's a situation we could see, like since it's days after. I wonder if we get a situation where like
I'd like them to show Homelander
Gen-
taking the people from.
yeah,
the
I want to
Gen V.
see Gen V people getting locked up.
Yeah, like I would like
wanna
to see that.
them
Yeah, like,
get led
like
to
all
their...
they see before Homelander, like literally, like Homelander approaches her and says that she's a traitor, and then it cuts to black, and then they're locked up. I would like to see what Homelander did. Was there a fight? Did they even stand a chance fighting back against Homelander?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be cool to see.
If they even fought back, because she was shaking.
That's what I'm saying.
She
That's what I'm
could
saying.
barely
Like,
speak.
could they even like I said, like did they even try? Like, or did they just let Homelander round them up because of who he is?
And another thing I was gonna think of was Maeve was locked up in the same place that the Gen V characters
same
was.
exact.
Maybe like a connection will come where like, yo, like Maeve, like where could we get help from? And then she'd be like, oh, all of these people that were on your TV, they're probably at this location. They may go to Maeve to help free the Gen V characters.
Yep, I could see that.
So
Something
she
like
would
that
know
can
about
happen
it.
too.
I forgot who even frees her, to be honest.
I think she freed herself.
Oh no, yeah, they were transferring her to another location, and she breaks out of the damn ambulance or whatever. Okay, you're right.
And I don't think they have anybody.
There's nobody inside because Starlight's not in the 7
Capable,
anymore, so
yeah.
nobody can get into Vought anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they're capable of like getting them free until like something drastic happens.
And that's another reason too why I feel like I could see A-Train turning good too, is like they have nobody inside of Vought now. Like, even Starlight was in the 7 this whole time.
Yeah, she was.
They have no
I didn't know she was
inside
in the
man.
7. I'm like, all right, she been left, and then they're like,
No, like,
Starlight
she-
leaves a 7. I'm like, in
Yeah.
season 3,
Yeah,
like she been what's going on.
Yeah, like so, like she was working against them, but was always like, because Homelander didn't even know that she was against him until season 3. And that's when he kills Spanish dude.
Yeah,
Her first boyfriend.
First boyfriend, he
he crushed his head.
Wait,
Yeah,
I thought Homelander killed him on a roof or
He
something.
did, yeah.
it was on the
okay.
roof.
What is his name? Like Sonic something? I don't know. Supersonic? No.
Sonic?
Supersonic, no. Supersonic's the runner.
Something like I don't know.
I forgot his name, but it starts with an S. Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
definitely like.
I feel like it was
protective
Sonic
over
something
her.
or Supersonic because
He wanted to get in her head basically, so he killed her.
Yeah, because they were like making Starlight and Homelander date, and so like he brought out he won the Spanish dude won the thing to be a part of the 7, and then Homelander literally killed him like that night.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I remember she was just like threatening him with the video, and he basically said like, "Do it."
Because
Like after that, he was like, "Do it." No, like
Maeve gives him the plane video.
Like,
That boy Homelander made that girl
threatening
kill
with it.
himself.
He was like, he basically said like, "Yeah, you didn't do it." I'm
That
calling
scene
your
was actually
bluff.
crazy. I forgot about
Jump.
that. When I was watching that recap, I was watching the recap last night. I was like, "Wow, you really made that girl kill herself."
That's crazy, son.
One of the last things I want to talk about, I talk about in the YouTube videos, like the health of the soups and like how it's really affecting them. So like obviously we know about A-Train and his heart. I'm trying to say like we did see Chance's character, like it was affecting him bad with the brain injury and whatnot, and how he was like having epilepsy.
It was like seizures.
seizure,
Yeah.
basically seizure like symptoms and shit.
He
Like, shit like that.
was only starting to have like headaches and nosebleeds, but his dad was full blown seizures.
Yeah.
Like-
So, like, it makes you wonder, like, what if we just get another situation where, like, another soup is going through something where, like, it's starting to beat them up to a point where they cannot perform at their level anymore.
Yeah, well, and it's definitely an interesting theory too because we didn't see that the first couple seasons. Like,
Yeah, it literally
like,
just got
like
introduced
A-Train
into
was only like A-Train's body wasn't failing because of his powers. It was failing because he was taking a drug.
Yeah.
But like we didn't see until we saw what was the dad's name? What's his name? That starts with a T. Like his superpower name. I don't remember.
Fuck, I forgot.
That's talking about
Like Chance's dad and Gen V, like the one he had because I'm pretty sure it starts with a T. But
Definitely does start with a T. I just cannot think of the fucking name of it. Oh, no, it's Polarity. I think.
Polarity. Okay, yeah. So like
Polarity.
we don't see until we see Polarity like literally start having seizures and he's using
You've
his
seen
powers.
a
and his
scan
thing.
of his brain.
Yeah, and then that's when they show you like okay, like these soups are starting to feel this because of their thing, but it makes you wonder like Does it depend? Is it because of a certain way they were brought up? Is it like compound V affects everybody's body differently? Because they never talk about that ever.
Yeah.
Until these these characters weren't taking some new type of compound V. These characters are all around the same age or in that same ballpark. So it kind of makes you wonder where, like, I think polarities was the biggest one, but now it sucks because, I mean, obviously Chance passed away, so they can't really explore that now.
Yeah.
But like another person's powers that make sense, like Marie's powers, like you would think would like hurt her.
That's what I was
She
about
has
to
to-
say.
she
I
can
was like, if
control
I had
blood.
to pick somebody, it'd be Marie because it's blood.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess she could control anybody's blood, but like at the end of the day, usually when she starts her attack, she cuts herself.
Cuts herself open. Yeah.
So it's like that's one of the like a weird one. Like Kate, I mean, no, but Kate's also hurt her. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the
Kate,
bloodshot eyes,
if she used it too much, it would like her nose would bleed, her eyes would turn red.
Yeah,
Like
eyes turn
it was like
really
it was causing her like she even had a seizure. It was like brain aneurysms that she was having. So it seems more so like characters that control stuff with their minds.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it affects the brain differently because polarity, obviously, like it's telekinesis. So you're using your brain. Kate is brainwashing people. That's another brain one. So it seems like it really just depends on where your powers originate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It does suck. Obviously, like A-Train's like the outlier, like with the heart thing.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, that's why I was wondering, like, if is it possible that we do see?
But I think it'd be an interesting one. Or I would even like to see like because I mean their health is going to be affected. They have the virus.
Yeah.
So even if we see like how this affects like I know they were testing it on like soups at like the facility, but how does it affect like a more powerful soup? Like maybe not a Homelander.
Yeah.
Somebody like like we don't know how powerful these like some of these soups just because you have powers don't mean you're strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get a dumb power and all of a sudden it's like okay like you're barely there. And the one girl had literally a tail. So like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that'll be like more so where we deal with like I guess. I think that'll be more so like where we see how does it affect their health is when they see this virus, like how does it affect a perfectly healthy soup that is a stronger version.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how would it have affected a golden boy?
That's what I was.
Who was considered to be
like,
leveled up with Homelander.
Golden Boy was supposed to be that guy, and it sucks that we never got the really chance to see him. But like I'm looking like more at the Gen V characters now. Like damn, like I can see why it's like we've seen with Emma, like she's purging herself to get smaller. It's
And
like that's
and she
clearly
didn't
gonna
have to.
be. Yeah, like she's clearly gonna start getting fucked up over that. Like that's you literally are basically like killing yourself to get smaller or bigger.
Or eating too much to get bigger.
So I don't know. It is pretty interesting. I feel like they're starting to focus a little bit more on that.
I think the science side has definitely come out more now, especially with the Temp V stuff. I feel like the scientific side of how these drugs affect you is starting to show more now than they ever did before.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to even just think about. Just as like on the side, like I don't think we'll have like Homelander going through much, but maybe
this just popped in my head. I wonder if like Soldier Boy's ability could heal Butcher. If it burns the compound V in your bloodstream.
Because I thought the virus could do it, but like I feel like that's something they're gonna go after that. The Victoria and Homelander will go after that virus because they're trying to keep the suits up. That might force Starlight to like they might have to push that shit out because like.
But remember, the boys don't actually have the virus. What's her name does? Victoria has it.
Yeah, Victoria.
Like Butcher just found out that there is a virus. Butcher found out that there is
is
a virus, but like the boys don't have it. Victoria blew
wasn't
that
it her and
dude's head
Shetty? Shetty had. Shetty had knowledge of it.
It was the scientist. So Shetty knew of it because
Shetty brought in the scientist to them.
It was the
right?
Spanish dude or whatever that when Sam goes to his house, it was the one that he made the virus to kill Soups. And then Victoria Newman like told him, okay, listen, like I'll protect your family. Meet me here. Bring the virus.
Yep.
She blows his head off, takes the virus, and then at the very end of Gen V, like the post-credit scene or whatever, we see Butcher walking in there, and he finds the body all messed up from the virus.
Burnt to death. Yeah.
So like they know that it's a thing now, but I think that I forgot about that. But that's all. I was just thinking like if Soldier Boy's powers could help Butcher in a way because, I mean, the Temp V is in his bloodstream, so like could it burn it out?
But they'll have to find a way to like, cause like if he takes that blast,
it would kill him exactly.
Yeah,
like,
so they'll have to find a way.
Unless he took Temp V right at the same time, because I mean Temp V makes you like a superhero, and then he just burns it out of him. Like I don't know.
I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Cause I just like
I don't think an average. Yeah, just an average.
But it's the Soldier Boy. I think Soldier Boy and Butcher was fighting last time they seen each other. Like
Soldier Boy's fighting everybody.
Well, yeah, Soldier Boy's a dickhead. Well, basically, I thought he was a half decent person, but that made sense because it was a spin on Captain America.
Yeah.
It's like the odds of somebody from the 40s coming back and being a good person are slim to none. And it's like he's gonna be racist. It's gonna be like you know what I'm saying, like stupid.
He literally threw a vehicle through Mother Milk's house and killed his like parents.
Yeah, like
all like Mother's Milk. That's why Mother's Milk was so hard, like hell bent on killing Soldier Boy.
Yeah, like dude was not a good person. And they were talking
Especially
about
at
like
the
people that
end.
turned back in the 40s and whatnot. How they when they had the Soups in the army and they were just fucking terrible. They were just fucking goofing around and
well,
shit.
he was like because he was like the first Soup. So they talk about like how because Frederick Vaught was a Nazi and got brought over to the U.S. and then
that was
it
who
like the same
Stormfront was.
storyline.
That was who Stormfront was dating, right?
Yeah, that was her husband. So like technically she was the first Soup that she just wasn't like out here showing it yet.
Yeah.
And then she was Liberty, and then Liberty got in trouble for killing that the black dude. They show it in season 2.
Yep.
And then she goes into hiding and then comes back as Stormfront all those years later. And they look, and that's like they show pictures and they're like, "Yo, she didn't age."
Yeah. Yep. That's pretty. I mean, pretty crazy theories when you really get into like everything realistically. Like I said, I will be watching this season. It should be very very good for the first 3 episodes. I mean, again, 3 episodes like that's pretty crazy.
They're probably gonna be good 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
If you want to.
You talked about Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
That's who I'm most excited to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I
I
want
just feel
to
like
say he's gonna be working with the Butcher.
It seems like he's in the FBI or CIA. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
like,
way, but
I
I
wanna
could
say
see
he's
him
gonna be
being a
working
secret.
along with him.
But I just feel like you don't cast him to just be a human character. Like he's gonna be a secret Soup. He's gonna be like somebody crazy. You know. What I'm saying?
I was about to say, like, what if?
Because I mean, technically, we
What
got
if
in like
he-
the thing, the
what
thing that
if
sucks is like
he's-
we got Tech Knight in the Gen V show, but like they never showed him as Tech Knight. Like like that's like the boys Batman, and they never showed him. So like I would like to see if Jeffrey D. Morgan is like has some secret,
So he's
alternate-
he's a brand new character.
Yeah, like
I
we've
ain't
not seen
gonna lie.
him.
What if Victoria Newman try to blow his head off and that shit just don't work?
So I'm saying
that's-
like
that could be a crazy
that'd be a
ass
cool ass
reveal,
because like we saw like she tried to blow off Starlight's head. All she could do is make her nose bleed. Like, she cannot like her powers don't work on Soups in the way they work on humans.
Yeah.
But we also know that she has the same powers as Marie, so like that was another cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Was that what's her name? Newman. All her powers are the exact same as Marie's.
Yeah.
She controls blood all the same way.
Yeah.
Because remember we saw Marie blow
Blew up the
dude's
dude's
dick. So
yeah, Rufus.
So yeah, so it's
But they
literally
were
the
saying
same
like,
power
what
set.
if they really get crafty and like use Rufus to try to get like you know what I'm saying like use Rufus to try to control.
Because what was Rufus' ability? What couldn't he like?
Mind control.
Yeah,
Portray.
let's
Like
say
it's
the same
basically
thing.
it's basically like Kate, but a little bit different. He had to do something. I forgot what it was.
There was a lot of Gen V
I think
characters.
it was like a.
He could like knock you out or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
I think
like,
that's what it
put you
was.
in a-
Like he put you under, kind of.
yeah,
You know
he
what
could
I'm
like
saying?
basically knock you out by just touching you, more or less. I guess like not like Kate realistically, because Kate could do way more damage with hers. But
Kate's is literally like pure mind control. Like his is like
and his
just, like,
works on
knock-
Soups. So
Yeah, but that's true.
like that's you could potentially see Rufus come back.
There's a lot of characters from Gen V. Like they name drop Maverick, which was Translucent Sun in in second season, and he looks like he wants revenge, and then they never do anything with him again. And then they show him in Gen V.
Maverick's character should be interested for season 2 if he's involved.
Yeah,
He was too goofy.
He was
at the
literally
time.
just a TA.
But he was
literally-
used at
he
the end in the finale in a good way. I
Yeah.
thought he was used in a great way. But do we know if Giancarlo Esposito is in this season or not?
He should be. I mean,
didn't
he's
see
still
him.
Stan Edgar. Like he's not dead.
Yeah, he's not. I said he's not dead.
But he's never really
he's
been
never
like a prominent part ever. Like he's always kind of just been there as like a thorn in Homelander's side. Like he's like Homelander doesn't scare him.
Yeah.
Like he's still the CEO.
He
of
like
Wa-
there for like
but in
Homelander,
season-
like character development, really. Like,
But in season 3, they did get exposed though, because Newman's his daughter. Like he adopted her.
she turned on him.
Yeah, and she turned on him. So like at the end of season 3, I'm pretty sure like he was like going to jail, or like he was doing something so something happened to Stan Edgar. I just forget exactly what it was.
Yeah, because it says right here.
Because Newman turned on him to be with Homelander. Like Homelander, like Newman's teamed up with Homelander too. Like they're all working together.
Yeah, Newman is underneath Homelander.
Yeah.
Like, he's controlling her basically. That's his end. Is what I've seen. Like basically under his thumb.
Basically,
Like
yeah.
if you do anything, I could kill you.
It's the same thing as like what he did with Ashley when Ashley took over for Stillwell's job.
Yeah.
Like you have the title, but you still work for me. Like
Yeah.
like you fear me.
Yep. And Ashley, I think she like ripped her hair out.
Yeah, well, yeah, she takes off her. He's like, take off that damn wig, and she takes it off, and
It's
they just saw
fucking-
streaks.
Yeah. Fucking terrible. But that's about all I got realistically. I mean, we covered basically about everything, like who we think will die, theorizing, different storylines, favorite characters. Anything else you guys got to add?
I feel like that. Like
I'm excited.
I'm actually surprised we remembered all the important stuff.
Yeah, dead ass.
I feel
Yeah,
like-
that was YouTube videos. I was playing X Defiant and I was listening. I was like, nah, let me just lock in. I was like watching a few. I went to like one that was 1 and 2, and I went to one that was 3. And I went like a preview to season 4, and then I went back to like season 2 because I didn't even try to watch season 2 even. So I went through a lot super good stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, the stuff I was hearing, I'm like, damn, like they really are in their fucking bag. And it sounds like season 4 is gonna be, like you said, Supes versus humanity. To what degree that gets to, obviously we only talked about like the Supes and like their interaction with the boys, but like we don't know if there's any like humans that might play an important role. Or,
That's what I'm saying. Like, especially if we're talking
consistent, reoccurring.
If Jeffrey Dean Morgan's literally only line in the thing talks about, he's like, we need to figure this out before all the Supes put us in camps. So like, I mean, we clearly show that at this point. I mean, Homelander literally said we're done being famous faces. Like we're gods.
Yeah.
Like so, like you see that they're clearly changing their philosophy now. Before it was always about you're having the best image so you make the most money. Now it's like, no, listen, we're better than humans, and we don't need humans, so let's do this. And like they're gonna start, herding them like animals.
I literally watched like the best 10 minutes of like best Homelander moments, funniest moments, and then I just like recollected everything of the season. Like, so I'm excited.
I mean, because they do a
wait.
good job of making everything like stick with you. Like everything feels very important. But you said like when you start getting somebody has to die. That's important, obviously. Like you can't have like side characters die. Like they have like good character development, but not great. They're not featured as much as like the Homelander.
This show is also like one of the very few where like no matter who's on the screen, you don't feel like you're bored.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every show has, I feel like those couple characters like they're talking, you're like, damn, like I'm just gonna tune this out. Like I don't really care. But like every character in here, like you at least have some type of like, okay, like I don't mind like watching this character. Obviously, like how Damon said, like when you see Homelander on screen, you're automatically scared because you're like, well, what the hell is he gonna do now?
Yeah.
Because he's unpredictable. But that's why I feel like The Boys has like a really good balance where they're like at the end of the day, no matter who's on the screen, you're paying attention because it's all tied together. It's not like you're dealing with multiple different storylines and they don't go anywhere. They all tie in together.
Yeah.
And then I was going YouTube, bro, on this fucking trap phone, but shit don't work. So that's what it is. I mean,
yeah, Damon grounded in case y'all didn't know.
Got grounded. He should be off Friday. I'm not sure.
No. Like it's cool to you kind of get a break. You know what I mean from the world. But I'm driving. Turn on my stereo for the first time in like 2 years. Shit don't work. Like all I'm listening to is engine sounds when I drive.
Just static.
That shit. I'm like, I turned this shit off. Now I got to freestyle while I drive. Like I can't listen to traffic the whole time I drive, bro.
Just put your windows down, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely sucks not having internet access at the least.
I got a PC at the crib, but like from like what time I leave the crib, like 12:30 until 8 o'clock when I get off. That's all I got right here. So,
at least you got a flashlight.
Somebody get traded. Like this nigga said, if this happened during the trade deadline, I'll be cooked.
Yeah.
Like I come home, fucking new teams made.
They expanded. They did a league expansion while you was gone.
Like LeBron, a new head coach of the Lakers. Like you would never know until randomly one day you get your phone back. Like how long you been a coach? Like 3 years, bro. Yeah, you late. Definitely, obviously, like we talked about it. The Boys gonna consume a lot of our summer. Now it's an 8-episode season. It looks a little bit different now.
Yeah, so that's literally only half our summer.
3 episodes coming out, so we do got a lot to I guess like reconsider in terms like obviously we're not just gonna come out here and talk about the Boys the entire time. There's still other things we can talk about. But mainly this is gonna be for our next month and a half.
This is literally till mid-July.
Yeah,
so
this is gonna be our next month and a half, like our main thing. But obviously we got movies coming out still too, so it should be an interesting time for us.
And then we watching Arcane.
I need to actually. I found out the Netflix thing's actually with somebody else's logged in, so you can't be logged in at the same time.
Mercedes put me on. I watched that. I finished it the other day.
I was gonna start watching it, but I was like, should I watch that Whiplash? And I was put on Whiplash.
Bro, that shit had me tweaking. I was like, there's no way that show ends on such a cliffhanger, bro. It don't come out till November. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in actually because you hyping up a lot.
Yeah, well, I can, bro.
And you be harassing me and shit.
I'm delete next.
You already did. I peeked. I logged into your account and I peeked. So it don't really
my fault, bro. It's double XP weekend this weekend.
Again
for everything. Battle Pass, double XP, and double weapon XP.
Again. Jeez.
My favorite weekend.
But that's all I got for this episode.
Yeah, go Mavs. Shout out to the Lakers for ruining another coach's career.
Yep, Dan Hurley fucking career is definitely fucking over. Not gonna lie. Going to Lakers is
I'm glad JJ.
I thought JJ Redick was.
No, they switched to Dan Hurley.
Oh, you don't get a trap?
That shit was at like 7 in the morning. Though,
yeah,
so
well, they said he's fine.
But they said the front runner for the job is Dan Hurley from UConn.
And it's not like, and they said he's about to give him like the biggest contract ever.
Yeah, it's gonna be the largest contract they ever offered, I guess, or some shit like that.
They said something crazy.
I ain't got Twitter. That's the one app I don't. The two-phase authentication.
Yeah, it happened. I was first seen on Twitter.
Yeah. Can't log on to nothing but Instagram, bro. Damn, I thought JJ Redick was the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like
they said, I guess that was a smoke screen, but I don't think anybody else was actually going after Dan Hurley. I don't think they have the cap, the money to do it. So, it is what it is. Good for him, I guess. But career's probably over, realistically, fucking with LeBron. But that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, he said